Hello and welcome back to the Common Colt Podcast. The Colts Podcast is real takes and no clickbait. I'm Josh Hudgens, joined by Dan Hertzler. Dan, we got some news today.
We do. And hey, we say we're no clickbait, but man, there is a lot of clickbait going around today because out of Baltimore, Lamar Jackson news says that officially, we knew that he wanted to be traded and there was trades and all that stuff. But now from his camp, he says he's done. I mean, he gave a farewell goodbye message to the Baltimore City, and it looks like he wants no part of the Baltimore Ravens now. And all these rumors start flying around, and good old boys there in the Colts, they were thrown right into the mix of it. Josh, what's your one-word reaction? Do you want Lamar Jackson? You excited about this? Well, what's your thoughts?
Well, I think that Lamar to the Indianapolis Colt would be uncharacteristic of Chris Ballard and the Colts. Listen, knowing Chris Ballard like we do and his multi-year tenure with the Colts. This guy is not known to spend big money on guys. This guy is not known to send multiple early draft picks for guys. And he would have to do both for Lamar Jackson, who's asking for an unprecedented contract. I'm hearing that this contract, per Stephen Holder, that Lamar Jackson wants is sometimes when he mentions a number to GMs and owners that it's like they just don't even want to talk to him type of deal. So Chris Ballard's got the name Bargain Bin Ballard for a reason, and it would be really uncharacteristic of the Colts. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I'm not even going to go in that direction, but I think you make some excellent points. I'm just going to flat out say no. I mean, no. I mean, there isn't anything about right now where the Colts are at and Lamar Jackson, to me, that makes sense, other than the fact that the Colts just don't have a quarterback, but they can solve that at 1-4. If you go into Lamar Jackson, not only as far as I understand, you still have to give up 2 draft picks, and you got to sign him now to this big, massive contract from a guy that's coming off of 2 straight seasons where he hasn't finished the season. Now, again, Lamar Jackson is electrifying. I mean, he is a dynamic player. He did some amazing things for the Ravens, but he also kind of flamed out in the playoffs. And so there's a lot of questions with him. As much questions there are with Lamar Jackson, there are going to be with these quarterbacks that we're going to bring in from the college. And to me, I would rather pay a guy less money to figure that out and keep one of my draft picks. There is no way that I would want any part of Lamar Jackson right now.
Well, the Colts are in a weird situation. They really are. And obviously the last 5-6 years, we've seen how much we've struggled with getting a quarterback. So I do see the appeal. And I think, pausing for a second, I think we do know that a lot of Colts faithful want Lamar Jackson. Yeah. And when we sat down and we said we're going to start making a podcast together, we said, hey, look, we're going to record episodes, and even if we're going against the grain sometimes, we're going to give our real takes, and we don't care. And this might be one of these episodes where we're like, hey, you know what? We don't think that Lamar Jackson should be the quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts. Yeah. And here's why. First of all, I think Lamar does make the Colts better. He does. I mean, right now we have Gardner Minshew as our quarterback. Lamar Jackson is steps above Gardner Minshew. Yep. Do I think that Lamar Jackson could put the Colts in playoff contention and possibly make the playoffs season 1? Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm. But do I think that Lamar Jackson makes the Colts Super Bowl contenders? No, I don't. We still have issues at pass rush. We still have issues on the offensive line. We still have issues at receiver. And you look at this Baltimore team, and we have a question mark at head coach, by the way. I'm not saying that Shane Steichen's going to be a bad head coach, but we don't know how good this guy is as a head coach. And the Ravens, he's coming from Baltimore, where Harbaugh is a solid head coach, where they have had a great defense, where their receivers were never great around Lamar. But I look at the situation he's leaving and the situation he's coming to, and I can't say clearly that the Colts are a great situation for Lamar Jackson. I just can't. Do I think that he fits Shane Steichen's offense and that worked with Jalen Hurts? Yes. But all things considered, Lamar Jackson, his play style does not it doesn't promote longevity. And I know that maybe he's not super injury prone, but he has had some injuries. And unlike Patrick Mahomes, who played the Super Bowl and playoffs injured and with limited mobility, Lamar Jackson hasn't shown us that he can play at a high level with an injury or with limited mobility. The guy still, in my eyes, has question marks on those 3rd and 8s when you need to thread the needle on the 2-minute drive. Yeah. I don't see that in the playoffs. We haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen this guy get to a Super Bowl. So I'm just really hesitant on it.
Yeah. Well, let me throw you a little curveball here. Let me think. What about this idea? What if the Colts keep 1-4, they draft maybe their defensive edge, and then after the draft, they go ahead and give up 2024 and 2025 first round picks and go sign Lamar. Would you entertain that? Was that something you could do?
I would, but what I would weigh heavily on is what the contract's going to look like. I mean, at the end of the day, Lamar was on the Ravens and he was on a fairly cheap contract for, obviously most of his time in Baltimore. And now in Indianapolis, he's going to be taking up a lot of our cap no matter what. Is this deal fully guaranteed? How long is it? Honestly, we recorded an episode the other day, Will Levis. I might just be saying, hey, give me Will Levis. Find a way to get Young or Stroud or somebody and let's go that route over Lamar. I'm not sold on the guy of being able to take this Colts roster, this Colts team, and make him a Super Bowl contender, which is what we want. That's what we want. We're not wanting to be playoff contenders. We're not.
Yeah. Well, one of the greatest things of rebuilding in the NFL is getting a rookie quarterback and having that rookie contract. Everybody talks about it. You've seen it with the Chiefs. You saw it with, Buffalo and Bengals. They hit on these quarterbacks, and then they got a 2 or 3 year window where they can load up on other positions. That's where the Colts are at. And if they can hit on one of these quarterbacks, I'm not saying they will. I'm not promising that. They are in a pretty good window if they get that quarterback. I don't want to mess that up with Lamar Jackson. To me, that's just not the route that I want to go. This to me is more fantasy football realm. This is, hey, I'm booting up a Madden franchise and I'm going to build the best team I can possibly build. And I'm not even thinking about cap or guarantee. But this makes no sense. And again, I think for those that are out there that really love Lamar Jackson, hey, I get it. You know what? I got favorite players that I love. Even watching other teams, I love those players. It would be great to have them, but we got to be realistic. We're just not in that spot, and I don't think that's a good move.
Yeah, honestly, I do think that there is a chance the Colts do pull a desperation move and trade for him. I do. I look at their roster.
What's making you feel that way? Just because Irsay is Irsay, or you just look at that quarterback position, you see just such a massive hole? Because to me, I say there's absolutely no way the Colts will give up 1 for Lamar Jackson.
I look at around the NFL, and I look at a team like the Raiders, who they signed Jimmy G, and the Seahawks have Geno. The Jets are kind of married to Aaron Rodgers. You just look around the league. The Panthers traded up to number 1 overall, and you start to look like the Colts are obviously, in my opinion, the team that is most needy of a quarterback because we haven't had one in 5 years. And we keep screwing up. So it feels like the pressure on Ballard is so high to get his guy that, hey, sometimes, desperate calls call for desperate measures.
I'm really hoping the Falcons are the team. To me, and again, I don't know much about the Falcons. I don't follow the Falcons, but they just look like a team in almost the same spot. But they don't have the draft pick we do. I really think if we were picking, 1-8 to maybe 112, I would definitely be a lot more in your camp. But that 1-4 pick, there's 4 quarterbacks. We got to get one of those guys. Come on, Chris. Come on, Jim. Don't do this to us. Don't send us down this path. Too much Carson Wentz. Too much, Rivers, and now Ryan. Let's not get this veteran quarterback. Let's get back in the draft.
So, guys, let us know what you think. I think we're fully prepared to get roasted. I think there's a lot of Colts Nation that wants Lamar Jackson. But we're here to say, look, he's going to improve the team, but I don't think he's going to take us where we want him to take us, especially with where this roster's at right now. We've got a lot of holes: receiver, corner, pass rush, offensive line. So let us know
if we get Lamar Jackson, we don't have to get a receiver because he doesn't throw to him. So there's one positive, I guess.
But I guess the read option with Jonathan Taylor would be fun to watch.
Yeah.
So
let
us know what you guys think. Make sure to comment, subscribe. And hey, guys, thanks for watching the Common Colt Podcast.